Imagine this. Your own brothers hate you so much they want you dead. They grab you, throw you into a deep pit, and sit down to eat lunch while you scream for help below them. Then they sell you like property to slave traders passing by. You are taken to a foreign country. You don't speak the language. You know nobody. You have nothing. Then just when things start getting better, you get thrown into prison for something you did not even do. Abandoned, betrayed, forgotten by the people who were supposed to love you most. This is not a Netflix drama. This is the real-life story of Joseph. A story of betrayal so deep it will make your jaw drop, and a comeback so powerful it will change the way you see every setback in your life. Stay with me. Let us go back to the beginning. Jacob had 12 sons, but one of them was his favorite. His name was Joseph, and Jacob made it very clear that Joseph was special. He gave him a beautiful coat, an ornate robe, unlike anything his brothers had ever received. Now, if you have siblings, you already know where this is going. His brothers were furious. The Bible says they hated Joseph so much they could not even speak a kind word to him. But it got worse. Joseph started having dreams, big dreams. In one dream, the sun, moon, and 11 stars all bowed down to him. In another dream, his brothers' bundles of grain bowed down to his. And Joseph, bless his heart, went and told his brothers about them. Every single dream. His brothers hated him even more. Even his father was like, "Okay, Joseph, maybe keep some things to yourself." But those dreams were not just dreams. They were a preview of everything God had planned for Joseph. The problem was, the road to the destiny looked nothing like the dream. One day, Jacob sends Joseph to check on his brothers, who are out tending the flocks. His brothers see him coming from a distance, and they make a decision. Here comes the dreamer. Let us kill him, throw him in a pit, and tell father a wild animal got him. Then we will see what becomes of his dreams. The oldest brother Reuben talks them out of killing him. Do not shed blood. Throw him in the pit, but do not lay a hand on him. His plan was to come back later and rescue Joseph quietly. So they grab Joseph, strip off his beautiful coat, and throw him into an empty pit. Then they sit down to eat. Let that sink in. Their brother is screaming below them and they are having lunch. Then a caravan of traders passes by on their way to Egypt. And brother Judah says, "What do we gain if we kill him? Let us sell him instead." So they pull Joseph out of the pit and sell him to the traders for 20 pieces of silver. Joseph is taken to Egypt, a slave. His brothers take his coat, dip it in goat's blood, bring it to their father. Jacob sees the coat, falls apart completely. A wild animal has devoured him. Joseph is torn to pieces, and he wept for his son for many, many days. Meanwhile, Joseph arrives in Egypt, alone, terrified, a slave. But the Bible says something remarkable right here. The Lord was with Joseph, even in the pit, even in the slave trader's cart, even in a foreign land, God had not left him. Joseph is sold to a man named Potiphar, one of Pharaoh's officials. And even as a slave, Joseph works so hard and with such integrity that Potiphar notices. He promotes Joseph, puts him in charge of his entire household. Everything Potiphar has, Joseph manages it. Things are finally looking up. But then, another setback hits. Potiphar's wife lies about Joseph, makes a false accusation against him, and Potiphar has Joseph thrown into prison. Prison. For something he did not do. Now at this point, most of us would have completely given up. First betrayed by family, then enslaved, then falsely accused, then imprisoned. But the Bible says it again. The Lord was with Joseph. Even in prison, Joseph's character shone so bright that the prison warden put him in charge of all the prisoners. Joseph meets two of Pharaoh's former officials in prison, his cupbearer and his baker. Both have strange dreams. Joseph interprets them accurately. The cupbearer is restored to his position. The baker is executed, exactly as Joseph said. Joseph asks the cupbearer one favor: remember me when things go well for you. Mention me to Pharaoh. Get me out of here. And the cupbearer forgot him completely. 2 more years passed. Joseph sat in prison, waiting, forgotten, but God had not forgotten him. 2 years later, Pharaoh has a a dream so disturbing nobody in all of Egypt can interpret it. 7 fat healthy cows eaten by 7 thin ugly cows. 7 healthy heads of grain swallowed by 7 thin scorched ones. Pharaoh is desperate for answers. And finally, the cupbearer remembers Joseph. I know someone. Joseph is pulled out of prison, cleaned up, brought before the most powerful man in the world. Pharaoh tells him the dream, and Joseph says, God will give Pharaoh the answer. Then he interprets it. 7 years of abundance are coming, followed by 7 years of devastating famine. Egypt needs to store food now to survive what is coming. Pharaoh is so stunned by Joseph's wisdom that he makes a decision on the spot. He looks at his officials and says, Can we find anyone like this man? One in whom is the Spirit of God? Then he turns to Joseph and says, Since God has made all this known to you, there is no one so discerning and wise as you. You shall be in charge of my palace. All my people are to submit to your orders. Only with respect to the throne will I be greater than you. Joseph, the boy thrown in a pit by his brothers, is now second in command of the most powerful empire on earth. From the pit to the palace, in one day, only God. The famine hits, just as Joseph predicted. It spreads across the entire region, and back in Canaan, Joseph's family is starving. Jacob hears there is food in Egypt and sends his 10 sons to buy grain. They arrive in Egypt and bow down before the official in charge of the food supply. They do not recognize him, but Joseph recognizes them immediately. His brothers, the ones who threw him in a pit, who sold him as a slave, who told his father he was dead. They are bowing before him, exactly like his dream said they would. But before Joseph revealed himself, he tested his brothers one final time. He hid his silver cup in Benjamin's sack, then sent guards to accuse them of stealing it. The cup was found with Benjamin, and in that moment, Judah, the very brother who sold Joseph years before, fell on his knees and begged to take Benjamin's place as a slave, so his father would not lose another son. Joseph saw it. His brothers had changed completely, and that is what broke him. He cannot hold it together anymore. He sends everyone out of the room and weeps so loudly that the Egyptians hear it outside the palace. Then he says the most powerful words in the entire story, I am Joseph. Is my father still alive? His brothers are so terrified they cannot speak, but Joseph says, Come close to me. I am your brother Joseph, the one you sold into Egypt. And now do not be distressed or angry with yourselves for selling me here, because it was to save lives that God sent me ahead of you. You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good. The brothers who destroyed his life, Joseph forgave them completely. Because Joseph understood something that changed everything. What his brothers meant for evil, God used for good. So what does Joseph's story mean for your life today? Number 1, your pit is not your ending. Joseph's lowest moment, thrown in a pit by his own family, was actually the first step toward his destiny. Your darkest season is not the end of your story. It might be the beginning of your greatest chapter. Number 2, character determines your ceiling. Every single place Joseph went, the house of Potiphar, the prison, he worked with excellence and integrity. He did not know who was watching, but God was watching, and God kept promoting him. How you behave when nobody sees you determines how high God can take you when everyone is watching. Number 3, delayed does not mean denied. Joseph waited 13 years from the pit to the palace. 13 years of setbacks and silence. But every single moment was preparation. If you are in a waiting season right now, you are being prepared, not forgotten. Number 4, what was meant to destroy you is working for you. The betrayal, the false accusation, the prison. Every single thing that was meant to end Joseph's story was actually building it. God has a way of using your worst moments as the foundation for your greatest ones. Your story is not over. Keep going. That is the story of Joseph and his brothers. A boy betrayed by family, sold as a slave, thrown in prison, who became second in command of the most powerful empire on earth, and forgave the people who tried to destroy him. If this story spoke to you today, hit that like button and share it with someone who needs to hear it right now. Subscribe. If you are new Bible story every Thursday, and drop a comment below. What is the pit you are sitting in right now? Let us talk about it. I will see you next Thursday. God bless.